Hi, I'm John Hornick. Welcome to lesson 66 of Chef's Apprentice, Learning to Cook Like a Pro, one small plate at a time. This lesson is beef Negimaki. This beef roll-up, or maki in Japanese, looks so good that you may not be able to stop yourself from eating it between the time you plate it up and the time you serve it. Pounded beef medallions are rolled around matchstick-sized pieces of sweet scallion and pear, then brushed with a soy sauce, mirin, and sake glaze, then grilled. After you slice the maki for serving, the beautiful brown beef outside, the reddish medium rare beef inside, and the sliced scallions and pear will make your guests' mouths water. You will learn to pound meat, which both tenderizes it and makes it suit your cooking needs. You will make a very tasty maki, which can be your inspiration for other combinations of ingredients. For example, duck breast with the skin removed can be substituted for beef in this dish. Techniques today are portioning and pounding meat, skinning, coring, and julienne cut, chopping, marinating, bringing to a boil and simmering, making a glaze, seasoning, assembling maki rolls, sautéing or grilling, plating, and garnishing. So let's start cooking. Okay, let's talk about the mise en place that we need for lesson 66, beef Negimaki. Now, the description calls for a New York strip steak that's been trimmed of its fat and that's about 1.5 inches thick. And you'd cut that into 8 pieces. Now I'm only making 2 tonight, so if I had started with that New York strip that was 1.5 inches thick and I cut it once horizontally, I'd end up with a piece that's about this thick. It's about 3/4 inch thick. Then I'd want to cut each one of those halves into 4 pieces. That would give you 8. Now here I have the piece from cutting it once horizontally and once in the middle. So that gives me 4 pieces total, and then I'm going to cut that again. Shallots, some olive oil, kosher salt, and a peppermill for freshly ground black pepper. Then we're going to need to have the pear. Now, I'm using, I think it's a Bosch pear tonight. You can use any kind of pear. I actually prefer Asian pears, which look more like apples, but I couldn't find any. So I took a Bosch pear, and I cut it into matchsticks. Okay, that's the julienne cut. There's a separate lesson on knife skills. You'll learn the julienne cut. We've also used it in at least one prior lesson. And then you'll need to have the juice of half of lemon, and you'll toss these matchsticks of the Asian pear in the lemon juice, so that they don't turn brown. And you should julienne at least half of the pear. You might not need that much, but it's good to have it, and then if you have extra, you can eat it, use it for some other purpose later. Then you'll need to have 16 pieces of scallions that are about 2 to 3 inches long. So you want to take the that's about the first 6 inches of the scallion, trim off the root at the end, and cut it diagonally. You can see this diagonal cut. So you have part of the white part and part of the green part. I have right up to just about where it branches. You'll need 16 of those pieces. I'm only making for 2 tonight, so I only have 4 pieces. You're going to use 2 per Negimaki roll. Then you'll need to have some rice vinegar. The description calls for a cup. Probably won't need that much. You just need enough to submerge your scallions. And that's going to be partly a function of how big the pan is. I'm going to use this little pan right here. So I'm actually not going to need that much vinegar. I'm just going to eyeball it. You're also going to need to have a small amount of sugar. The description calls for 1 tablespoon of sugar. I probably won't use that much. I just want to get this vinegar to be sweet. So we're marinating those scallions in sweet vinegar. So the proportions aren't exact. You just have to sweeten the vinegar. Then we'll need to have about 6 tablespoons, or actually I'm going to use exact measurements here. 6 tablespoons of Japanese soy sauce. Does it have to be Japanese? No, but this is a Japanese dish, so I want to use Japanese soy sauce. You also need to have 4 tablespoons of dry sake and 6 tablespoons of mirin. And then we'll need to have about 1 tablespoon of chopped parsley or cilantro. I've got a lot more than that here. I'm just going to use what I need. That's just for a garnish at the end. Okay, that is all of the ingredients. We'll break, come back, and I'll show you the equipment for lesson 66. All right, equipment for lesson 66. We need a cutting board and a chef's knife to chop those shallots. We'll need to have a slicing knife to portion the beef, a juicer to squeeze the lemon to put in with the pear so that it doesn't brown, peeler to peel the pear. We need to have a bowl to put those julienne pieces of pear in and toss them in the lemon juice. So I've just got them in this small bowl. I've already tossed them in the lemon juice. You need to have a pan to marinate the scallions in. I prefer a flat bottom pan that's not much larger than the number of scallions you're going to be marinating. That way you won't have to use as much vinegar. And then we'll need to have a saucepan to heat the glaze. Then you'll need to have plastic wrap. I buy it in large quantities. This is a Kirkland brand, 3,000 square feet of 12-inch wide plastic wrap. You don't need a roll that big, but if you use it as much as I do, you probably should buy that larger roll. You need to have a meat pounder with a flat side, okay? This is Yaxo brand, doesn't have to be Yaxo. You'll need to have a brush to brush the glaze onto the Negimaki. And then you'll need to have some bamboo skewers. Now these, why bamboo? Because bamboo holds up to heat a whole lot better than other woods. And these are about 6 inches long, sharp point. You can find these in food supply stores or on the internet. You'll need to have, if you're making 8, you'll need to have 16 of those skewers. Then we'll need to have a skillet and tongs to cook the Negimaki. All right, that's all of our equipment. We'll break now, come back, and start cooking. Okay, the first thing on our prep list is to mix the vinegar and sugar and to marinate the scallions. Okay, so I'm just going to look at about how many, I'm only doing 4 scallions tonight. I just want to get them to be submerged in this vinegar. And so I'm just using as much as I need, really. And then we just want to get some sugar. How much sugar? I'm just using about probably half a teaspoon. I just want to get that vinegar to be sweetened. Okay, I stir it up. I'm stirring it up right in this marinating pan so I don't dirty any more containers than I need to. And then I'm going to add the scallions. Now remember, I'm only doing 2 portions tonight, so I'm doing 4 pieces of scallions. If you were doing the whole lesson for 8 people, you'd have 16 of these pieces. So I'm submerging these in the vinegar, and now we're going to let those marinate in that vinegar for 2 hours. They do not need to be refrigerated. All right, the next thing on the prep list is to bring to boil the soy sauce, the sake, and the mirin. All right, so we're going to add soy sauce to the saucepan, sake, and the mirin. We're going to bring that to a boil. I'm using medium heat. Okay, the ingredients of my glaze are just coming to a boil, so we're going to reduce that to low heat, and we're going to simmer this for 2 to 5 minutes. Then we're going to just take it off the heat and hold it till we need it for the glaze. Okay, the next thing we're going to do is cover the board with plastic so that we can pound out the beef. Now, I always cover the board before I put the beef down. You could just cover the beef itself and not put a layer down on the board like I'm doing right now. And then you could just wash the board afterward. But I like to do it this way. I like to put down the plastic, and actually I usually use wider plastic so it'll cover the whole board. And then I put down the beef on the board, and then put another layer of plastic over the top of that. You want to have some space between the pieces because they're going to spread when you pound them. Okay, we want to pound these pieces of beef gently. They're going to spread out. I want to get them to be about 1/8 to 1/4 of an inch thick. Okay, now we want to peel back the top layer of plastic. Now we're going to season the beef lightly. Little kosher salt, little black pepper, now we want to sprinkle the top with the chopped shallots. Get them spread out pretty well. Okay, now we want to place the marinated scallion, one piece of white, one piece of green. I usually like to put it at the wider end. This is coming more to a point, so I'm putting it at the other end. This one is coming to a point here, so I'm going to put it at this end. And then we want to put in a few pieces of the marinated, the julienne pear that were in the lemon juice. How many? You want enough that you'll be able to taste it. In other words, you want to have a balance between the beef and the things that are inside the beef. Now you want to roll it up. All right, now we want to skewer them. Now, I don't want the skewers in the middle. I want to have this kind of this flap, this point. I want that to be the skewer to go through that so that they hold together. Okay. Now, you could cook this right now, but I'm going to put it in the fridge for about 20 minutes to a half an hour. I like them to firm up. And I think they hold together better when you're grilling them. So I'm going to put these in the fridge for about 20 minutes to a half an hour. All right, next thing on our prep list is to brush these rolls with olive oil and to season them. So let's start with the olive oil. Pour a little on. And we use our brush to spread it around. Want to try to get a good covering, good coating all around. Okay, now a little seasoning. Now we want to brush the rolls with the glaze. Again, we want to try to get a good coating. Okay, it's time to cook them. Okay, so we're going to put a little bit of olive oil into the skillet. Now, you might say, well, why aren't we using a high smoke point oil like avo oil or canola oil? The reason is because we're not going to use a real high temperature with these negimakis. We want them to cook kind of slowly, and we don't want them to get overcooked. Okay, so we're going to bring this olive oil up until it is just starting to get whiffs of smoke. All right, so our oil is hot. We're going to put the negimaki into the pan. You might need to do these in batches if you're doing all 8. You might also say, well, why did we, let's turn on the fan here. Why did we put oil in the pan when we had already brushed these with oil? Just want to make sure they do not stick. Okay, now we're going to let them cook about 30 seconds, and then we're going to turn them and brush them. Okay, we're going to brush on every turn. How long are we going to cook? Probably about a minute and a half. No, I'm sorry, about 2 minutes total. So about a minute per side. Now the beef, remember, is very thin, so it's going to cook very quickly, and we don't want to overcook them. Okay, that's been a total of 2 minutes. We're going to let these rest in a warm spot for about 2 or 3 minutes. Okay, here's our Negimaki. They're just beautiful. I'm going to take one of these and we are going to slice it and see how it looks. I'm going to slice it on an angle, which is for aesthetic reasons. Now, inside, the beef is a little bit rare in the center. So what I'm going to do is put the two cut sides back together. I'm going to put this skewer back through here. And I'm going to cook these a little bit longer. Okay, we're going to put these back into the pan, hot pan, for about 30 seconds per side. Now you might say, well, I like my beef rare. We could have just had it without cooking it anymore. I think with this dish, it's a little too chewy, a little bit too hard to eat if it's too rare. So I go for a medium for this dish. 30 seconds more per side. Okay, take them out off the heat. Now here are the ones that we cooked again. These are medium now, okay? So we're going to keep those in a warm spot, and we're going to take the other one and remove the skewers and then cut it on a diagonal. Beautiful, medium. Okay, time to plate up. Okay, so we want to arrange these artfully on the plate. I like to have one of the cut sides pointing up and one of the cut sides pointing to the side. And we want to garnish with the chopped parsley or cilantro. And there we have it. That is lesson 66, beef Negimaki. You can see photos of the final dish at my Instagram, which is @ChefsApprentice, Cook Like a Pro. Next up is seared sea scallop with roasted red pepper and white bean puree. Please remember to subscribe to my channel, and thanks for watching.